Canaries chasing yellow and green through every ground in the championship scene. Bags packed, scarves high, stories to share. Wherever the Canaries play, we'll be there. On the road, city, we're singing loud and proud. From the river to the terraces, we'll follow through the crowd. On the road, city, from Dublin to the Shire, we'll find the pubs, the songs, the hearts, and light the Canary fire. Fans in the stands tell us where to go, for a pint, for a bite, for the best pre-match glow. What's the town like? Where should we stay? What's the roar of your home crowd like?
Morning Canary fans, and lovely day here at Vicarage Road, ready to watch Norwich get another 3 points against the Watford. How are you feeling about today?
Yeah, looking forward to today. I think it's after last week, I think we should have a good go at it today. Hopefully see our away form match our new found home form.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, looking forward to it. And looking forward to the new structure for our podcast. So we're going to be looking at the month ahead and having a review of the previous month on the road. And we'll kick it off here with a view of Watford away. So look forward to plenty of feedback, plenty of interaction from the Norwich fans as we continue our away debut with Norwich on the road.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll have some good away days this month, and we'll review some of the ones from last month. So keep tuning in, fans. Delighted to have you on board with us. Thanks.
Well, Nick, our optimism was a little bit misplaced yesterday.
Yeah, it certainly was. Yeah, great day out, but yeah, disappointing result in the end for sure.
Yeah, it really shouldn't have happened. That was my feeling. I don't know how you felt, but I thought that we deserved at least a point, if not three.
Yeah, I think we definitely deserve the win. You know, Clement's got on playing much more attacking, attractive football. I think I said to you, I'm not massively precious about the result today, but, you know, we deserve the win. And it's nice to have football back that you can enjoy watching. And, you know, the first 45 minutes was certainly that. And it built on a great home game last week.
Yeah, it might be a biased view, but I felt certainly in the first half an hour maybe that we were as good as any team I've seen in the championship this season. We were pressing hard. We had good plays, good interchanges between the players.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I read this morning actually that Clement's 200% convinced that he'll keep us up. And I think you're right. I think the football in that first 45 minutes was some of the best I've seen. And I've not been impressed by anybody that's come to Carrow Road this season. And you know, they've all beat us, apart from last week. I've still not been impressed by the teams that have come, and the quality of football in the Championship for me is not great.
Yeah. So, and obviously in conjunction with the TalkSPORT Fan Network and Now TV, obviously this particular podcast is all about our away days, and we only had 2 in November. Talk to me about your thoughts about those 2, Sheffield Wednesday and Birmingham.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday for me, you know, it's probably the result that both teams didn't need in terms of a draw. I think both teams needed the win. You know, it was a basement battle, wasn't it? Sheffield Wednesday with a new lease of life after you know, Chansiri leaving the club. You know, full stadium after months of empty ground, crowd, you know, behind them. And I think 1-1 was probably a fair result. In fairness, I think it's probably as much as both teams deserved.
I think maybe looking forward from that, one of the highlights I think possibly was Rory McConville getting into the side finally. And obviously we've seen the last couple of games, I'd say he's well cemented his position, especially now with Darling suspended after yesterday's game. I'd imagine Rory's probably the number one, the first name on the centre-back sheet.
Yeah, and I think it's quite worrying that suspension's there now, because we're, you know, our back four is it's probably chopped and changed every week. But yeah, it's nice to see McConville get a start. Like you say, cemented his place now in the back four. Just like to see Jacob Wright do something similar in the midfield, to be fair now.
Yeah, he certainly needs it. What about them, Birmingham? I mean, my thought was possibly, and I know it was new to Clement, but possibly one of the worst performances I've seen this season.
I think it's probably one of the worst performances I've seen for a couple of seasons, to be honest. It was, for me, it was right up there with Leeds away in the playoff semi-finals. It was a complete no-show. If I reflect back on it now, there were probably players played deliberately to demonstrate where they were at. But yeah, it was a complete non-event. I think it just, showcased a team that hadn't been coached correctly and didn't know what they were doing. And we were torn apart by what for me was, a fairly mediocre Birmingham side, but they'd got pace down one side and they used it every single time. And again, it just showcased a complete lack of coordination across our back four.
Yeah, and I thought even at that, they eased off towards the end, and could have knocked another few in. Like it was, at least most of the games this season have probably only been one game in it, or one goal in it. But that one we were well and truly beaten, as you said, by a fairly average side.
Yeah, definitely. And like I say, a complete non-event from start to finish. A wet, dreary day in Birmingham with a bull ring that was so full of people you couldn't move before and after the game as well. So yeah, a complete write-off. I think the highlight of the day was breakfast, to be fair. So just
pretty decent chain bills there in up in centre in the bull ring. That was good fun. And then coming back down to yesterday's game, obviously there was a lot of expectation, I suppose that's the right word for it, after the QPR win. And as you said earlier, we started off brilliantly well. I certainly left feeling quite disappointed with the result, but it was interesting to see the positive reaction the team got from the fans at full time.
Yeah, definitely. The result isn't the result that was deserved by the performance. I'm never one to call out specific players, but I think Vlad was at fault for two of the goals. I don't know why he didn't get his gloves on and hold on to the first one to allow him to have two soft headers at goal. The second one he probably couldn't do too much about, having seen the replay, and again the final one, it looks like he's either pushed it into the net or it's just gone straight through him. So yeah, so I don't think it was his best game. Again, I think he's good at stopping some fairly powerful shots, but I think he needs to try and hold on to the ball rather than going for what looks like a big dramatic piece of body movement to push the ball away. I'd like to see him keep hold of it and then not give the turnover and let him have another shot on target. But great performance, great attacking football. Great to see the players playing with confidence. Great to see Josh back on the score sheet again. And it was a good day out with a sold out away end.
Josh certainly loves Vicarage Road, doesn't he? I don't think he's ever been there and not scored.
Yeah.
Must be his favourite place. Coming back to Vlad then, so, I mean, he's obviously had some phenomenal saves in some of the matches. I wonder, has anybody analysed, though, the great saves versus the mistakes and seeing what points impact it has? I know we kept this in the game against Portsmouth earlier in the season down at Fratton Park, but there's been a couple of times now where there have been a few mistakes. Do you think it's time for him to have a bit of a rest and try one of the other lads?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few players that must be sat on that bench every week wondering what they need to do to get some minutes. Jacob Wright is one of them, and Dan Grimshaw must be another. Surely, he's had one opportunity, if I remember rightly, in the cup, maybe two in the cup, but he's definitely had one run out in the cup games, probably both of the Caribou Cup games, if I remember back. But he's got to be sat there wondering what he needs to do to get a start. Surely. I'm not sure that Sheffield United away now, with Darlin being out suspended and having injuries to Stacey and others, that'll be the time to necessarily change the keeper as well. But it can't be far off. Surely can't be far off an opportunity for Dan Grimshaw to get some minutes in goal. And I'm just not sure where Clement's at in terms of do you chop out your number one goalkeeper and swap somebody out just because there's a couple of soft goals conceded. Be super interesting to see, didn't it, with Jurasek, didn't he? Hooked him after 15 minutes. Is now the time to try something different with the keepers. Yeah,
it'll be interesting. Obviously, there'll be another shift in back four. Do you think Springett will get another start, or we try somebody else in that position on Tuesday?
I wouldn't be at all surprised. Well, to be fair, before Darling's suspension, I wouldn't have been at all surprised to see McConville start at right back and Kellen Fisher to be swapped over to left back. I think Tony did all right. I think... don't think he was committed to the tackles that he could have been. I think there was a number of opportunities where he could have just gone in and cleared the ball out and didn't. But, the lad's not played for 18 months, is it now? First game back, 65, 70 minutes. He didn't really put many feet wrong, did he? But there were a number of opportunities he could have taken to be a little bit more clinical. I guess when you're coming back from injury and it's your first game and, you're trying to get match fit and not get injured again, you're probably a little bit reticent to go in, for some of the tackles. But I think we're probably in a position where we've got no choice now to start Springett at left back. If he's got minutes back in him after such a long time out, I think it has to be Springett at left back, Fisher at right back, and then probably McConville and Medic at centre back. With I think Duffy was out with a muscle injury, wasn't he? Another muscle injury. So again, I don't suppose he gets minutes on Tuesday either.
I think he could be available for Tuesday, but maybe not for the full night. I thought again Medic looked a bit exposed yesterday, but again he hasn't played in a while. So I mean that's probably the challenge for any of the players who are not getting regular time. It takes time probably to build up to match fitness, match alertness, etc.
Yeah, definitely. I think Forson had his best game yesterday. I think he had a phenomenal game against QPR at home last week. I don't think he had his best game yesterday. He had some lively runs in him, but I think McCarmer showed everything that we want from a Norwich City football player in the 20 minutes he came on at the end. Strong, powerful. I don't know what he has on his boots, but the ball seems to stick to him, whether he's got super glue on him or what, but the ball seems to stick to his feet. How he didn't score 2 or 3 goals yesterday, I don't know. A through ball where he then tried to, play it around the keeper far post, probably is on his wrong foot, I think, probably. But, a couple of 2 or 3 powerful shots towards the end. On his day, he gets a hat-trick in the last 20 minutes, doesn't he? But, he drew 3 good saves from the keeper and the defenders.
I mean, obviously Sheffield United had a really poor start to the season. They seem to be on fire at the minute though, with the changes that have happened. How do you see Tuesday going?
It's going to be another tough one. I can see a 2-2 draw, if I'm honest, but it's going to be a really tough game.
Yeah.
I've been to Bramall Lane a number of times. I can't remember many Norwich wins. I can't remember celebrating coming out of there too many times, if I'm honest. For me, a horrible place to go. It's not a ground that I enjoy going to. The Sheffield United fans certainly do make it hostile and not just in the ground. So yeah, it's never an enjoyable away day, and it's like I say, it's not one I can remember us winning for a long time.
Mind you, I think we had a nice meal there the last time we were in Sheffield.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, didn't we go to the barbecue restaurant? But let's be honest, we don't tend to eat poorly wherever we go, do we? So it's normally one of the first things on our agenda to get right.
Just for any fans travelling, I know neither of us can make it on Tuesday, but for any fans travelling, where's your usual parking spot for?
There's a number of NCP car parks in and around the town centre, some near the train station, some of the multi-stories near the town centre. On a Saturday, and I've not checked the train times, but on a Saturday I tend to park at Meadowhall, if I'm honest, and just get the 5-minute train in from there, and the time you spend queuing to get out of Sheffield city centre, you can be out in the Meadowhall car park straight onto the motorway. So that's a favourite of mine, if I'm honest, at Sheffield United, to park there and just jump on that train, 2 stops, I think it is, and you're there.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I do like, I suppose, a little bit like Carrow Road, this train station is not that far from Bramall Lane, unlike Sheffield Wednesday. Hillsborough is a bit of a trek.
Definitely.
Bramall Lane, despite the hostility, is a walkable journey.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And plenty of food and plenty of drink around as well. So, yeah.
And then the only other match we have away this season are this December, just before Christmas in Preston. It's a bit of a trek for a lot of Irish fans. It's a handy one for me, I have to say, flying into Manchester on a direct train into Preston. One of the shorter trips. What do you think? Well, I mean, they're doing extremely well this season.
Definitely. And I always like Preston. I like the Preston away days. It's probably a 3-hour drive for me. Always get me parking booked at the ground as well. And, the pre-match ritual for Preston away is always the social club at the church just around the corner. I think it's £1 to get in. I like the football scratch cards. I like the pie and mash and peas, and just the friendly social atmosphere sat with Preston fans. It's always an enjoyable away day, always warmly welcomed at the social club. And I always enjoy it. We tend to have more good memories there than bad. And we've had some great away days at Preston. I think the last one was probably Gabby Sarah, wasn't it? Was it an 89th or 90th minute winner from Gabby Sarah last time we were there? Yeah, so I enjoy it. It's always a good one for me on my away day card.
Get the winner first this time, do you think?
I think McCarmer. I think McCarmer's going to get a couple next Saturday for sure. Yeah, he's next Saturday after. Yeah, I think McCarmer will bag a brace at Preston. I think that the kind of pitch, the kind of ground, I think it suits his style of play.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's another. So it'll be our apart from the midweek match, it'll be our third early kickoff in a row. How do you like the early kickoffs, don't you?
I'll do, yeah. Just for me, I'm up early for work anyway, so Saturday's no different. So yeah, early kickoff for me is great, especially with the travelling days. Get up early, beat the traffic, and home in time for tea. So you still feel like you've got a bit of Saturday evening left after the game. So yeah, I prefer them. I know for some Norwich fans they're difficult. I know for a lot of young family Norwich fans they're super difficult with kids obviously having kids football Saturday mornings. I know it makes it super challenging to get to, but yeah, for me personally, I much prefer a 12:30 kickoff.
Yeah, I have to say, for me, I can pretty much get to any ground for 12:30. Norwich is probably the hardest place to get to for that time, but I can usually squeeze that in. And like that, yesterday coming back from Watford is probably the earliest I've been home all year after a match, so it was a nice change. And again, I wasn't rushed. I was able to meet up with a few people after the game for drinks.
Nice.
Still get home at a reasonable hour. And then obviously we're not going to focus too much on the home games, but we've a series, I think, of winnable games coming up after Christmas, and we will have Riley joining us, super QPR fan, to talk about our New Year's Day match, which, obviously we should cover in this month, even though it is next month's game, given that we won't be recording in advance of the 1st of January. What's your thoughts about going to Loftus Road?
Yeah, I always enjoy the London games. Quick ride on the train into London for me. So, Olivia always likes a little bit of shopping in London. There won't be much on New Year's Day, so I don't suppose there'll be much open. But, I think we had a cracking breakfast, didn't we, in Borough Market last time we were down in London for QPR away. So, it's always a nice away day. Again, the away end is not great. The concourse is super small for some reason, despite the fact that we sell it out every season. They only ever decide to open one of the bars, despite there being 2 or 3 in the away end, which creates chaos. Yeah, there's no leg room. The seats are tiny, but it's always a good day out, isn't it?
But I have to say that concourse-wise, it has to be one of the worst. We'll have to ask Riley about that when we talk to him.
Yeah, definitely. That and Watford, I think, are the worst by some distance in the Championship. So, and obviously we were in Watford yesterday for that tiny dry in Watford. Yeah,
at least you can get a drink in QPR if you're thirsty, but you'll have to fight fellow fans to get to the bar, and it's also horrendous getting out of the stadium. I think, depending on where you're sat, you can end up in a big queue getting out. There seems to be only one way out.
Yeah, it's just an old small ground stuck in the middle of terraced housing in London, isn't it? So, but let's be honest, I'd rather watch a football match there than somewhere like the Emirates or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, off their lovely stadiums. Give me an old school football ground any day of the week.
Yeah. So overall, do you think then for the season? Obviously, we're still not in a great place, but based on what I saw yesterday, I think we're going to have a pretty decent season. How do you think it'll shape up?
Yeah, I think the signs are there. I think you could tell, and you can tell in all the games that we've played since Clement took over, apart from Birmingham, which was like 2 days after it started. The team are confident. The football is free flowing. It's attacking. It's tidy up the defence, get a few of our players back from injury, and I've got every confidence. I'd like to say 2-2 draw away at Bramall Lane, and then we've got your birthday match at home next Saturday to hopefully get another 3 points in the bag. So, yeah, looking forward to another busy week of following Norwich City, and yeah, I think December will be a good month for us. Not so players coming back from injury, and I think we'll pick up a fair few points and close that gap on others around us.
Wonderful. I think there's a lot to look forward to this month. Plenty of games, plenty of action, plenty of drama, no doubt, before we end up at the January transfer window, which will also be an interesting move. And as you said, hopefully we'll get some of our injured players back. I think, overall, I think we've got a decent squad. If they were properly coached, which clearly they mustn't have been for the last couple of months.
Yeah, and I think it just shows a massive gap, doesn't it, in the coaching that we've seen. So I'm looking forward to another busy month on the road, following Norwich. Like I say, not many away games, but lots of games coming up, and we've been blessed with a few home games over Christmas as well.
Lovely. Well, listen, I will see it before Christmas, Nick, but for all our followers, we wish you a very happy time with your families, a nice break up for Christmas and the New Year, and hopefully many of you will get to enjoy some exciting footy.
See you soon, folks.
Thanks.